You're listening to Chapter 9 of The Day Evacuation Order Went Up. Aiko's 6 days before camp. This episode is part of Stories from Camp, a continuing series of Japanese-American narratives told as quiet nighttime historical dramas. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and listen to the next chapter or the whole story on our YouTube channel or your podcast player. If you'd like to hear more, you can explore the rest of the library on our channel. Chapter 9: The Argument in the Kitchen. By the next evening, the apartment felt tighter, as though every packed box pushed the walls inward. Aiko moved between the kitchen and the main room with a stack of folded towels, trying to keep herself busy, but tension crept into the air long before the sun slipped behind the buildings. Her father returned from the shop earlier than usual. He hung his coat on the hook with an unfamiliar stiffness, his silence settling into the room like dust that refused to be swept away. Her mother stood at the kitchen counter sorting through a pile of household items that never seemed to shrink. The soft clink of ceramic against wood echoed through the apartment. Aiko sensed the shift before the first words formed. There was a heaviness in the air that no amount of careful folding could smooth out. Her father stepped into the kitchen. "We should store the good dishes," he said. "The neighbors said they'll watch the building. It will be fine." Her mother didn't look up. "Nothing is fine," she replied quietly, as though speaking to herself. "You think they will guard these things as if they were their own? You think they have time for that?" Her father's jaw tightened. "We cannot carry everything." Her mother stopped sorting and turned to face him. Her eyes were tired, but a sharp clarity lived beneath the exhaustion. "I know what we cannot carry," she said. "I am deciding what we can risk losing." The words hung between them, more brittle than either intended. Aiko stood at the threshold with the towels clutched in her hands. She didn't want to interrupt, but she didn't want to leave either. They hadn't argued like this in years. Her father's voice stayed measured, but frustration threaded through it. "If we leave too much behind, we will have nothing when we return," he said. "When?" her mother asked softly. "You speak as if someone promised it." Her father's breath caught. The question cracked something open inside him, something he wanted to hide behind routine and forced composure. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "We will return," he said. "We must." Her mother shook her head, turning the small ceramic bowl in her hands. "They took my brother," she whispered. "Without reason. Without a word. You tell me why I should trust anything now." Aiko felt her chest tighten. She knew her mother rarely spoke of her brother, arrested weeks ago along with other East Bay men. She kept that pain folded neatly inside her, a private sorrow she never asked her family to carry. Hearing her voice, it now filled the room with a quiet ache. Her father reached for the bowl. "I am trying," he said. "We must stay hopeful." Hope sounded fragile on his tongue, a thin thread stretched too tight. Her mother exhaled, long and tired. "Hope doesn't pack boxes," she said. "Hope doesn't guard our things. Hope doesn't keep us warm in a place we haven't seen." She put the bowl down gently, as if afraid it might break under the weight of her words. Aiko stepped forward and placed the towels on the counter. The small movement interrupted the rising tension. Her parents turned toward her at the same time, each wearing different versions of strain on their faces. Her mother's shoulders softened slightly. Her father looked apologetic, as if he wished he could smooth the room with one steady gesture. Aiko reached for the bowl and wrapped it carefully in cloth before placing it into a box. Neither parent spoke. They watched as she tied the string around it with slow, deliberate movements. Her hands steadied themselves even as her heart thudded in her chest. Her mother touched Aiko's arm. "You shouldn't hear us like this," she said. Aiko shook her head. "I live here too," she replied. The words surprised her, gentle but firm. She felt them settle the room, not with dominance but with truth. Her father let out a quiet breath. "We are all afraid," he said. "Just in different ways." His voice held sincerity, stripped clean of the stubborn pride he sometimes carried. Her mother met his eyes for the first time since the argument began. The silence between them changed shape, not resolved, but softened. Aiko could see it clearly now. Her father clung to hope because the alternative felt unbearable. Her mother prepared for loss because she had already lived through it once. Their conflict wasn't about objects or boxes. It was about how each tried to protect the family in the only way they knew. As night settled outside, the three of them finished packing together. No one mentioned the argument again. They didn't need to. The kitchen felt warmer now, lit by the small lamp that cast a steady glow over their hands as they worked side by side. The storm inside the house had quieted, leaving a sense of fragile unity in its wake. Aiko felt it settle around her, gentle, imperfect, real. A family holding on through a moment that asked too much of all of them. When she carried the last box to the corner of the room, she realized something had shifted inside her as well. She had stepped into a space between her parents, translating their fears without speaking them aloud. It wasn't a role she asked for, but it belonged to her now. And she intended to carry it with as much grace as she could. Thank you for listening to Chapter 9 of The Day Evacuation Order Went Up. Aiko's 6 days before camp. This episode is part of Stories from Camp, a continuing series of World War II Japanese-American narratives told as quiet, nighttime historical dramas. If you like this narrative storytelling, please like, subscribe and listen to the next chapter or the whole story on our YouTube channel. Or your podcast player if you'd like to hear more. You can explore the rest of the library on our channel. And if you're a storyteller or creator who wants to collaborate with us, you can reach out anytime at redressradio.com.